live at the Roar Zone in Marietta. What's up, big man? How are you? I'm excited about this show, man, because like I was sharing with you, we're ready to launch our own, line of supplements. I've been in that world a long time, been an athlete my whole life. But I love to seek out guys and even women like you because you're a few years ahead, right? So then that keeps my focus, right? And keeps my mindset where I want to be. And that helps me. And I love the fact that it really comes down to mindset over anything. And I want your take on that. Okay. Rico, you gotta say your last name.
Caveglia.
Caveglia.
Right.
Rico Caveglia, 75 years young. A 34-year-old fitness agent. Well, we're going to break that down, what that means, that definition, and bring everyone behind that black curtain. I know in your bio is pretty extensive with a lot of things that you've accomplished. Let's just introduce yourself and give us a little background on some of your accomplishments to set the tone. Okay.
Well, I've had the good fortune to be a health and fitness trainer for 35 years. Wow. When I first moved to San Diego in 1980, I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area then. I actually had a traveling art show business for about 15 years, traveled all around the United States and selling artwork.
Really?
It was really a lot of fun.
Wow.
I was a little bit burnt out, so I moved to San Diego looking for something new to do.
Yeah.
And I had the good fortune to meet this guy who was one of the very first personal trainers in San Diego. And he was getting ready to open up one of the first modern personal training studios in San Diego, 1981, called Fitness by Design. He said, I need some help. I said, that sounds good.
Were you always into fitness? Were you always?
Well, not really. I was an athlete, but then I, just working and stuff. But I was in good shape because I was working hard and all that. But I wasn't really training, doing anything.
It wasn't your lifestyle.
No, it wasn't. I was about 40 then. I was 39 or 40 years old. So I said, well, that sounds like fun. So and then I learned, as you get to start exercising, get fit yourself, and then you can help other people and get paid. I said, this is pretty cool, So we actually, like I say, had one of the very first personal training studios in San Diego. We did some of the very first corporate fitness programs.
So you guys just partnered and worked together.
Worked together for about 3 or 4 years, and then I went on my own. I had the good fortune to meet some wealthy people in La Jolla, and they just kind of referred me to all their older, wealthier clients. So I kind of got in working with an older clientele. And so in that time, I began to see how physical and mental neglect, what it does to you, how it prematurely ages people.
Right.
And I go, whoa, this is just, it's not good, So I would say in around the late 90s, when I first discovered that science was telling us that our genetic potential is to stay healthy to 125. But yet we know our life expectancy is only about 80. Right. It's actually gone down a little bit lately.
Right. Has it?
It's actually gone down.
Yeah.
So when I figured that, I said, wait a minute, hey, I'm enjoying my life. I don't want to die way before my time. I can live another 40 years. So I began investigating, why are so many people in America getting old and sick and dying way too young? And of course, you know the answer. It's lifestyle.
Yes.
It's lifestyle. Even the conservative AMA now says that up to 80% of all degenerative diseases, like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, is preventable with a healthy lifestyle. So that's why I came up with, I wrote my book called Ageless Living. It's a lifestyle. It's a complete mind, body, and spiritual wellness system of proven strategies that I've used myself with other, with clients.
But let's really give them some context. Let's give them some foundation, because you've had some really cool things that you've done.
Well, I'd say I had the good fortune to I've written 17 books on health and wellness, and I've also, written probably hundreds of articles published, and I do lots of local workshops in San Diego. And one thing I can tell you, one of my success stories I'd like to tell you about is that I actually tore up my knee playing football when I was like 18.
Okay.
So, and I was like a sprinter, it went fast, so it kind of got me out of being competitive in sports. And so I had an operation on it in 1960 in New Mexico. So not exactly the hotbed of high technology. And there was no such thing as a rehab, right?
Right.
What's that,
Right.
And so my leg still only bends about this far, my left leg.
Okay.
So I kind of gave up on being any kind of competitive athletes. And then, again, when I started training myself and get myself in better shape in my 40s, and then up into my 50s, I ran into some guys who were master who competed in Masters Track. They were some of those guys in San Diego that were some of the top Masters Track people. And they said, come train with us. I said, okay, I'll give it a try. So I got back in, I got in sprinting with them.
How was your leg?
And my leg, well, it's still, I mean, I had one strong leg and one leg is not so strong, but I got it good enough where I could do it for a while. And I ended up, I ended up winning lots of gold and silver medals in the California State Senior Olympics.
Wow.
But 200 meters was my...
How old were you?
I was in my 50s then.
Wow.
50s. So I just kind of, I just want to let people know that no matter what's going on, no matter what your age is, if you train properly and really have put your mind to it, you can rehab yourself to a certain degree. So I did pretty well, even though I it's kind of a little bit frustrating because I said, if I had two good legs, I think I could be right up there at the top of anybody in the world at my age, you know. Yeah. I like to tell people that story because that shows you no matter what age you can always rehab yourself. You can do better. You can make a comeback. Doesn't matter what age you are, you can get yourself fit.
Especially at that time, right? When you look back, how important was mindset?
Oh, it's totally, as you know, it's totally, Dave. First of all, you have to believe that you can do it. You know, you have to believe it. And you have to have the expectation. And you gotta want to accomplish it. You know, you gotta set those kind of a goals and then believe in yourself that you can do it. Because, as you know, same thing. You've been in this field all this time. We always wonder, why do people struggle with sticking with a healthy eating and an exercise program?
And then why do people succeed?
Yeah,
right. You look and you say, why?
It's all up here.
Yes,
it's all up here because anybody, as you know too, anybody if they actually begin to eat healthier food and they begin to exercise their body, they're going to get results. You can't fail. Yeah. The coolest thing about what we're into is you can tell people, look, if you just do this, you're going to get good results. You can't fail, right?
Exactly.
So why don't you do it? You know, it's like, well, I don't get it.
But you're right. There is a mindset. Here's the other thing that people have to understand is whether you did it intentionally or not, it doesn't matter. You surrounded yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
See, those people that invited you in,
that's right.
Right? They said, let's figure out how you can do it, why you can't.
That's
now,
right.
if you would have been sitting at the bar, no, real, right?
Yeah.
Sitting at the bar, complaining, bitching, and moaning about how life took your bad leg away, would you have ever competed? Would you have ever got on that track?
Exactly.
Never.
That's exactly
right.
That's the key. Right.
There's no secret to this, right? There's no secret recipe.
Yeah.
What I love about this is because it's the real world. Yeah. We're not sitting in a classroom. We're not talking about theory. We're hearing it from somebody that literally did it. Right.
Exactly right.
So I love that.
Yeah, it's totally. You're exactly right. It's totally about mindset. You know, that's all it is, and so that's why I try and teach people. You have to change that story that's going on all your life. You know, so people are so bombarded with all this negativity and all this thing, and people just buy into this thing. In fact, I'm going to be launching just in about another month. It's called Be Bold, Never Be Old Online Wellness Club.
Be Bold, Never Be Old. Okay.
Yeah. There's a big difference between aging and old. We're bombarded with this thing of, oh, you're going to get sick and you're going to get old. You know, when I turned 60, I started getting in the mail all these things about, you better start planning for your long-term care. I'm going, oh my God. And then even funeral things start sending me. I mean, I'm going, what? You know, I'm just getting started, you know, it's just, but people buy into that. It's a sad situation.
I say this all the time, right? Yeah. And one of the things that they're going to hear me talk about this more and more now that we're launching the nutrition line is we're conditioned to think that when you walk down the beach and you see a guy or men that need a bra more than their girlfriends or their wives, that it's normal. And it's really not. It's not what nature really wanted. And I'm sure you understand this too better than anybody. If you don't start to do things physically, nutrition-wise, supplement-wise, to turn that clock back, right? Nature's just going to drive you into the ground.
Absolutely.
If you don't use it, you lose it. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, it is normal in our society, but it's not natural.
No, that's a great way to put it.
Our bodies have so much capability that we don't realize, you know.
Right.
And again, it just comes back to mindset and getting the right education and then being committed. I think there's a little bit of a spiritual disconnect between our physical and our spiritual life.
Absolutely. A lot of disconnect.
And that's why I came up with why people don't take better care of their physical body. Because I think when you realize that, I think we're all spiritual beings here on earth with a physical body, right? Mm-hmm. For a purpose. And so when you realize that our body is a gift, I think it's a gift from God.
Oh my God.
However you want to think of God, however you think of God.
Yeah, whatever title, it doesn't matter.
That. Right. Our body is a gift to do what we're meant to do here on earth. So doesn't that make sense that you should take the very best care of your physical body? It's your gift. And if you're not healthy and energetic, how can you accomplish what you want to accomplish? Well, you can't really even enjoy your life if you're not fit and energetic and feel good.
I love that. I always say, this is our vehicle to get us through this lifetime.
Absolutely.
So the better you take care of it, the smoother the ride. It's so true. And I think one of the things, too, that is a hidden problem that a lot of people don't think about, if you're training regularly and you're doing everything that looks like it's the right thing to do, but you are consuming food that has hormones and that has byproducts and has all the other stuff in it, how detrimental is that to us as humans?
Well, it's totally. You know what? I knew Jack Lane for a while before he died. We had some conversations.
I met him, right?
Yeah.
We met him in 1995, right?
Yeah.
At the Arnold Classic in Ohio.
Oh.
And Arnold was giving him a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh.
And I think he was 92, right? When I met him, he made everyone look like they're standing still. Arnold's on the stage trying to give him this plaque. He can't find him. You know what Jack's doing? He's running around flexing.
Yeah.
92, God bless him.
He used to have a thing that say, exercise is king and nutrition is queen. And I used to argue with him, it's really the other way around. Because if you exercise a lot, you're going to be fit and you're going to look good. But if you don't have good nutrition, it's all going to go to waste. And especially, too, if you're working out hard and pushing your body and you're not getting the right nutrition and the right rest, you're just aging yourself and tearing your body down.
Yeah,
so
there's no recovery.
But if you had really super good nutrition and you didn't exercise, I mean, you wouldn't look too good, you wouldn't be too strong, but at least you'd be healthier.
Right.
But if you don't eat good, get
It's
good
what you
nutrition,
consume.
yeah, it's what you consume.
Right? It's what you consume. So you can have candy apple red Lamborghini sitting in your driveway, right? Is that going to look beautiful?
Yeah.
But if you put vinegar in instead of gasoline, what's going to happen? It's not going to. It doesn't matter.
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
I like to tell the story when I speak to groups. I say, if you only got one car in your whole life, would you take really good care of it? Everybody goes, yeah, of course.
Right?
Well, guess what? You only get one body, right?
It's so true. And I think the other thing that happens too is, in my book, I talk about I had a motorcycle accident probably about 18 years ago, and it was almost taken away from me. Right? I could have been paralyzed, or I could have been dead, and it was almost taken away. And I broke everything on this side, punctured a lung, and it was 4 months before I could do any physical. And I literally was going out of my mind. And I remember waking up in December in New Jersey in my garage, 2 hoodies on, 2 sweatpants, and just doing squats with no weight, just something. 5 o'clock in the morning, because it was almost taken away. And so I trained at the 24-hour fitness in Oceanside because I live in Fallbrook. Now there's 9 or 10, I forget how many bays I counted, of handicap bays. Now I'm training early in the morning, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning in that area, right? Every one of those bays are filled up.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I don't know. I look at it the other way.
I was hoping it was.
I don't. I think that all you have to do is fog up a mirror to get one of those stickers.
I see. Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
because when I walked in and I looked and I counted, I saw, now I know a few that are in wheelchairs and I know a few that legitimately need that. But the majority of the people don't need that sticker, and they use it, right? Now, not only are they taking up a space for somebody that needs it, but they're not honoring what you just said. This is a gift. Right? This is a gift. So if I could have a choice of parking at the very end every single time, but the ability to walk there versus, right? So my other...
It's
mindset.
Isn't that funny? You go into a Costco parking lot, right? And there's people just sitting in their car waiting for somebody to pull out, and all they have to do is go maybe 50 yards and park over there.
But
That's blows my mind.
But here's the thing. To me, Rico, all it is a mindset shift, right? If you stopped and you said, man, not only am I going to park at the very end, but man, am I grateful that I could walk up to that door.
That's right.
See, instead of... So my dad was a World War II vet. He just died in November 2016, the day after Thanksgiving, a month into his 92nd birthday. And I remember I was asking him, I'm like, so, because he was starting to really lose his balance and things like that, if you want, we can get you a sticker. And he looked at me and he goes, for what? Because I'm not handicapped. And but that's the mindset.
That's right.
Right? That's that mindset.
You know, that reminds me of people buy into this medical system that we have that likes to classify things and call it. They make up diseases just so they can make a drug for it, right? And people buy into it.
Right.
Whenever I talk to people, say, "Oh, I've got fibromyalgia," or "I've got cancer," I say, "Don't say that, because if you say that, you got it.
Right.
That's what your mindset is then. Right. Oh, I got this." No, your body's just out of balance. Yeah. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Disease in the body is just disease, and it'll cause problem whatever you're weakest. So some people get what they call fibromyalgia or heart disease or cancer or diabetes, what all this stuff is. But if you buy into that and call yourself like, I'm this, you're stuck. That's it. Your body's just out of balance.
You really are. And then again, it goes to perception, right? I was told growing up that I had ADD, but looking back now, the title really is entrepreneurial mindset, the entrepreneurial DNA. I just want to be in somebody else's lane, right? And I was bored out of my mind in a classroom. And so you're right. It's about, I always say you don't have to accept any label that anybody puts on you. It's up to you whether or not you want to accept that, right? Exactly. So knowing Jack LaLanne, man.
Let me tell you that story.
Yeah.
Remember that one thing he did was he handcuffed, pulled about, 12 or 20 rowboats in Alcatraz Channel.
In the bay.
Freezing water.
Yeah.
I said, Jack, you're a crazy person. He goes, yeah. I said, how did you do it? He says, here's how he trained to do it. Guess how he trained to do that. Can you believe this? He filled up his bathtub full of ice, and he laid on a bed of ice every day for an hour or 2 hours every day
to get his
for a month to get used to being cold. I mean, who can do that? And the guy's just nuts, but still, he did a lot of crazy things.
But think about how powerful the mind is, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't live till he was 150. I just really.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I guess it's just time to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's your journey. It's your.
I think the point is, what I try to teach people now, you don't have to be extreme. You don't have to run marathons, which really ages you. You don't have to, really be a bodybuilder unless you really want to. You don't have to beat yourself up. You just got to be consistent. You got to do something every day. You got to do some kind of aerobic activity. You got to stretch your muscles. A true measure of your age is how good is your posture and how well can you move.
What do you mean by posture? Like, why is that a definition of age? Talk about that.
Well, first of all, if you look around and see a lot of older people, I see people much younger than myself, and they're walking around slumped-shouldered, and they're moving really slow. Why is that happening? It's not because, for the most of them, they could have gotten an injury.
Sure. But the majority.
Most of them, they just allowed it to happen. If you don't stretch your muscles, they're going to shorten up, and they're going to get really tight and short, and pretty soon that's all you can move is that slow, right?
Yeah.
And when you're slumped forward, because gravity's always
it kind of starts to atrophy, huh?
Muscle atrophy, and they shorten up, and that's why we get all stiff, and then gravity pulls us forward, and also when you have bad posture like this, you can't breathe well, You need to be able to stand up tall and you can breathe well. And then when you keep your joints flexible, see, I'm still really flexible at 75 because I stretch every day. So as long as you can move well, and you can, and you're flexible and you can walk well, who cares what your age is, right?
Exactly.
So a true measure of your age really is, again, it's how you're thinking and how flexible you are and how well you can move. That's what it's about, right?
It's so true. And flexibility, flexing, stretching turns the clock back.
That's the most important thing.
100%.
You know what, Dave? It's so funny too. I find I didn't get my clients to do some strength training or even some aerobic, and then I say, "Did you do your stretching that night like I told you?" And they go, "Oh, I kind of forget stretching."
Yes.
That should be the first thing you do. So you stay limber and loose.
And not just that, it ties in when you can get in that, right? And that becomes part of your routine and your lifestyle. Right. Now you tie in that mind, body, breathing connection. Yeah. When I did yoga, right, for a short period of time, it was absolutely. I would leave there so relaxed and so in a zone, right? But it's just stretching, really, and breathing.
Yeah, and get out of your mind, out of that chatter in your mind, and just focus on in the present moment, and really tune into your body and feel what your body's capable of. You know?
Yes.
Most people are so unaware of their physical body. And so many people go through the whole life never tuning into the body or being fit or being energetic. It's that.
Not even close. I did a show about 2 months ago at a Pilates studio.
Yeah.
So Sonny Almond invited me back to do a workout. I've never done Pilates. Here's what was my aha moment. I realized, as a bodybuilder and a weightlifter, you always talk about mind-muscle connection, right? Yeah. But when you're lifting, if you leave that, you most of the time you're still okay, but you're just not getting the most out of it, right? But you can still perform it, right?
Yeah.
When you do that, Pilates, because it springs, then second you leave that mind-body connection, that mind-muscle connection, everything's out of whack. Yeah. I literally had to stop, reconnect. It was the coolest thing because it made me stop.
It helps you be in the present.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's a good lesson for everything in life.
It really, yes.
Dave, I want to say one thing before I forget it.
Yeah.
We talked about when you had your motorcycle accident. Whenever we have those things that seem to be bad or challenging at first, but really our challenges are really our blessings.
Yes.
It's a blessing, isn't it? Because as you said,
yes,
because you missed it so much and you get to really appreciate it, right? Mm-hmm. And then so you just start to do anything to get yourself back.
Yes.
That really was a blessing for you because that made you say, man, I'm going to stay.
Almost taken away.
It's almost taken away. I'm going to be strong and fit as I can be all my life. So everything happens because it seems really difficult and bad. It really is a blessing. And then so you learn from that and then you appreciate what you had and be grateful. And that's what helps to keep us focused,
It's perception.
Yeah, we should be grateful for just being able to breathe, right? That we're here talking, we can see, we can hear, we're alive. We should never complain. We should be grateful that we have this physical body and just love your body and take the best care of it. It seems to be so simple. So that's the message I'm trying to get out to more people.
But it's so true. Between our physical bodies, right, our mental capacity, and living where we live and being born and raised where we are to have the freedom to come and go as we please, right? Because at the end of the day, the reality could be we could be laying in a hospital bed, dying, right? Not able to move. Right. We could be sitting in a jail cell with the rest of our life not on our terms, right? So when you can look at it like that, it changed the perception.
Or we could be living in the Middle East and having bombs dropped on us.
Absolutely. Just that's our life,
How fortunate are we? Right. How fortunate. We're like in the 1% of the world.
And
so we should never complain. But yeah, Dave, America's one of the most unhealthiest and unhappiest countries.
Right.
I mean, it's just, so that's kind of my mission now, to try to get this message out to people, to just like all the things that we're talking about,
I want you to share your daily routines. I'm a big believer that if you want anything, right, that's worth it, life says you got to earn it, right? And one of the things that I think people fall down on, whether it's physical, mental, business, monetary, whatever that is, they don't have non-negotiables. Yeah. See, I believe you need non-negotiables in your life. And then you can call that lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. But I call it non-negotiables. Okay. What are some of your non-negotiables? Okay.
Well, here's my thing, what I'm kind of, it's about being more awake and being alive. And if you begin your day like so many people, they roll out of bed to an alarm clock, and they rush around, they got to get to work, or what are they going to do, and they drink some coffee, get some kind of stimulant, and then they're not really fully awake mentally or physically, and then they try to go through their day, and no wonder it's a struggle, and you're not performing up to your high performance. You got to wake yourself up first, so you got to take the time. However you have to do that. I know it's harder if you're younger, you got children and all that. It's a little bit more difficult, but you still can do it. You can figure it out, Actually,
so what do you do?
Okay, when I first wake up, you get up and you first, what's the most important thing in your body needs? Oxygen, right? You got to do some breathing. I do some breathing exercises. I do a little qigong stuff. Again, bringing energy into your body. You got to drink a couple glasses of water. You need hydration, and then you need to get your mind set, as we're talking about. So, I do meditation, so you sit for a little while, quiet your mind, and then, there's many different things you can do, but one thing you should always do is focus on your day, what's going to be like, visualize how you want it to turn out. This is what I'm going to do today. This is how it's going to work. This is what I want. I'm focusing on what I want. That's a big thing I've learned all the life. All the gurus that I've studied throughout my time, they say, we only struggle when we're focusing on what we don't want in our life instead of focusing on what you do want. So you got to keep your attention on what you want, how you want things to turn out, because even our thoughts and our words are energy, right? So that's what we're going to create. It's like the law of attraction.
Yeah.
So get yourself centered. Think about how you want it to go, what you're going to do. Meditate. Take some time to slow down and wake your body up, and then do some physical exercise. Can I show you this?
Yeah.
This is called, I don't know if you can see it very well or not, it's called the Vitality Stick. And it's a product that came up, a fitness tool that basically it really helps you to stretch. You can do different stretches. It helps you to keep your posture good and your alignment. So I have this whole warm-up routine that I do with the stick. And then also, just real quick about the stick, it actually comes apart in 2 pieces here.
Okay.
It comes apart in 2 pieces. So this is what I call the Vitality Power Stick. And we have these bungee cords that you put on here.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do all strength stuff as well.
Resistance strength.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's why you do the strength part. And then use the stick. I have an aerobic workout where we use the stick. We do all this. And it's actually the best aerobic exercise because we're using both our upper and lower body, and we're moving in different planes. So we're moving up here.
And then you get the oxygen in.
Get all the oxygen in, and we're doing like intervals, but we're using our whole body. And then it really helps you to have a stretch routine too, so then you stretch. So really, the best thing about this, if you have your stick, I get my stick, and I have this basic warm-up routine. These are all on DVDs. So you go through and move your whole body all the way. So you're trying to move through your whole body from your top of your head down to your toes. And then you're ready, and then however you want to, whatever you want to eat. After that, then you're waking your body up at a cellular level. And so your brain's alive, you've got oxygen in your body, you've got water, you've movement, you've got circulation. Then you can go out feeling confident and live a powerful day. And people will really react to somebody who comes in feeling
absolutely
balanced and strong.
It's the energy.
As somebody who's all hushed and stressed and drinking coffee, it's
the energy, right?
Yeah.
Setting the intention for your day instead of letting the day dictate you. So many people are the buoy in the ocean. They let the waves and the current and the tide take them wherever they just give up.
That's being reactive instead of proactive.
Yes, yes, and it's so important.
I just want to mention one thing.
Yeah.
It's so fun talking with you because we're so in tune with all this. We really know that all this stuff is the same stuff.
It's life 101.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's not that difficult, is it?
No.
We're not geniuses.
No, I'm the farthest. I'm the farthest guy.
I know.
And I always say life is simple, just not always easy.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And life really is simple.
It is simple. And we make it too complicated.
You
right?
do. We do.
We stress ourselves out over the stupidest stuff.
Right. I always say and I always tell people, I say in my keynotes, listen, life is simple, not always easy. And if somebody's trying to make something more complicated than it is, they're either trying to sell you something, or they don't know what they're talking about, or worse, both.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. What are some of the things that, like a daily eating plan for you?
I think it was in mid-90s when I was really busy with a lot of clients with a personal trainer, and I was rushing around. I wasn't I wasn't eating as healthy as I wanted to either because I'm always moving around. So I realized, hey, I want to learn how I can make healthy fast food. So that's actually was my first hard copy book called Real Food, Real Fast.
Oh, yeah?
It's how to make healthy fast food in 15 minutes or less. So I devised a whole system how you get organized and your kitchen and all the different ways that you can actually do this. So the basic thing is, the key is, nutrition can be a subject. It's a whole 6-month program, right? And everybody's biochemically unique. So you can't ever say, well, this is exactly what you should do. You have to work yourself.
Right?
But if everybody would just learn to eat what I call real food. Real food is what's grown in nature, right? It's organic, vegetables and fruits and nuts and seeds and some healthy animal products that are grown naturally without any hormones and chemicals and grown in a natural state. So if you just make most of your diet real food. Real food. It doesn't come in a box or a can or a package, right? Yeah. And then try and get at least up to 30 to 40%, up to 50% of raw food every day. It's going to make a huge difference right there. So to take what specifically you should eat, I don't know. It depends. It depends on how your blood sugar, how your metabolism is, all these different things. What you should be eating. But just eat real food. Like some of the best. Berries are some of the best. Very best nutritious.
And the antioxidants.
Yeah, really high in antioxidants. So you should get a little bit of fruit, and obviously green food, plant food. Lots of veggies should be eaten. But then again, you have to realize again, what's really healthy for one person could be really detrimental for somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, you
so
want
you have to find out.
Yeah.
Maybe spinach is not good for you.
Yeah, but overall.
Yeah, you got to get a lot of greens in you. And then
Now, do you juice?
I do sometimes. I have like a whole food juicer. I don't, the regular juice extractors. First of all, it's just takes me too much trouble. And some benefit is good because the juice gets absorbed really well, but then you lose all the pulp and all that.
And
So
fiber.
I have like a blend tech, whole food juicer.
Yeah.
So I do that sometimes, and or sometimes I get some of the green. There's a lot of different green powder mixes, and just shake them up in a shaker bottle and all that stuff. And so you want to get as much live green foods, of course, in your body, and then lean protein. Some fish and some occasionally some chicken and turkey and things like that. So it's not that difficult. I say just what's real food, and you can there's so much fake, almost like fake news these days.
Yeah.
So much confusion out there, like don't eat potatoes or don't eat tomatoes, and for some people, maybe it's not good for you, but it's not. You can't ever say, I should never eat any carbs, should never eat any
It's
sauce.
never the extreme.
Never any extreme. Anytime you get into any kind of extreme, and any kind of extreme diet, you're never going to stick with it to begin with. So what I teach is that you have to get a diet you have to keep working on it. It's an ongoing process to see what's going to work for you, but something that you can enjoy and you can do easily, and it's not extreme, but something you can stick with for the rest of your life.
And that's the key, right? I want to circle that and highlight that, is it comes down to lifestyle. And that's what this is all about. When I have my sports nutrition store, I would say to people, I can give you the best meal plan for your goal, the best workout for your goal. But unless you're going to, and you might be able to do this for a few weeks, but unless you can create an actual lifestyle, it's only temporary, right? It's got to become a lifestyle.
You know what I found out, Dave, is I found out, how to really achieve goals. One of the very worst goals is to lose weight, right? Mm-hmm. It's absolutely and worst New Year's resolution, because first of all, in order to really be successful achieving a goal, it has to be tied to what's really important in your life.
Your why. It has to be tied to your why.
Your why. Why do I really want to do this? The four biggest things are, of course, having good health, having good family, good relationships, have a successful business, and then how you can make a difference and serve. Those are the things that are really important in your life. So things like losing weight, people don't even want to think about that. It's just a big hassle and stressful and all that. Your goal is to be healthy and energetic so you can be successful in what's important to your life. So you can take care of your family or your relationships and be successful in your business. That's what you really want. And so the things that you do are just things that will help you to do that, but your goal is not to lose weight. My goal is to be healthy and energetic so I can be successful, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I try and teach people the big distinction.
I love that.
Big distinction.
Right, I love that. And the byproduct is losing weight. The byproduct is getting in better shape. The byproduct is feeling better.
It's all about feeling good mentally and physically. That's our whole life comes down. We want to feel good mentally and physically.
And see, I'm a big proponent on, and I know you are too, and I want to learn more about this from you. Like, I get my blood work done quarterly. Yeah. I do hormone replacement therapy. I believe that, if you don't, if you don't create that lifestyle overall, you're going to be digging out of a hole. So when I talk to my doctor and I look at my numbers, I don't want my numbers to come back as a 50-year-old guy or a 51-year-old guy. I want my numbers to come back into the 30s. That's my goal, right? And that's what we strive for. You are 75, but you have a 34-year-old fitness age.
It's not quite as great as it sounds, Okay, there was this company back in the 90s called Fitness Age. In fact, that's where I met Jack and Lane, because they had hired him for their spokesperson. Oh. And they had these kiosks, and it's a computerized program, and it's where you do these 5 different basic fitness tests. You do like a step test for aerobic, you do a forward bench stretch test, you do a body fat, you do push-ups, sit-ups. And they had these studies from way back in, I think it was the YMCA had a lot of tests like studies of people, so they had a lot of records. So you could so they put it all together and computerized it, so you could compare what the average person your age could do in that. And so the whole concept was, if you came in and took the fitness age test and you were 40 and your fitness age came out to be 50, that would be a motivating factor for you to
turn this around.
Right. Yeah. So they actually moved their headquarters to San Diego when they were getting going. And I met one of the vice presidents, and so they hired me. I was actually their fitness trainer. They had a little gym there. So I work with them, and so that's how I got into the fitness aids thing, you know. So, but it, like I say, again, you don't have to kill yourself, but, you know, I was always stretching. You know, I did aerobic, I did a lot of cycling, so I was always pretty flexible, and my body fat was like about 9%, you know. So it was pretty easy for me to do push-ups and sit-ups. I like to do things with, I mean, I used to lift some weights, but I've always been more of a person that likes to do more like gymnastic stuff. I like to do my own body weight.
And you like the functional
Fitness.
That's what I loved about the TRX.
That's what I teach out. I like the TRX a lot.
Yeah.
So the fitness aid thing was really easy for me to do.
Yeah.
It was I could
It
always
was
do
your
it.
wheelhouse.
When we first did it, then back in that was like say 95. So I was probably like 20 years younger, 55. I had like I could do like age 20 or something. You know,
Yeah.
In those days, so it was so easy. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
But that was your thing.
You know, they still have a website called Fitness Age. You can still go in there, and you can still go in there. You know, they didn't make it. I guess they had this big plan to put kiosks in all the gyms all across the world, all in the United States. But I guess, you know, the trainers just didn't take the time to actually get people to do it. I don't know.
Just didn't take off like they expected.
But that's how I met Jack, because Jack was like the spokesperson for them. And so we had different events, and we'd go there, and that's why I meet Jack.
Wow. What do you have coming up? What do you have exciting?
So my big thing I'm really working on that. Well, I just want to say one quick thing.
Yeah.
If you're interested in my fitness tool here called the Vitality Stick, you can check that out at vitalitystick.com. So what I'm doing now is, after being 35 years and producing all this content and all these things, and I just realized now I'd really like to try and reach more people.
Sure.
So I put together, it's called the Be Bold, Never Be Old online wellness club.
Okay.
It's going to be like a membership program, and I've already got it. It's almost ready to launch, maybe next month. It's 24 weeks of training, and what I do is boil it down to just each week you're going to get just maybe like 1 or 2 short videos, or an audio, or a PDF training.
Some sort of value.
Some sort of value, and it's going to take you through the whole process. The first 12 weeks, we're addressing all the main things that people are really dealing with, like low energy, excess body fat, aches and pains, can't sleep well, too much stress. So I'm giving you some real basic stuff that can really address these things naturally that you can do at home.
Just overall wellness.
That's going to help to relieve all these basic things for 12 weeks. And then the second 12 weeks, we're actually going to get my elite online coaching program. It's like a $1,000 program that I have online. It's going through my book, my Ageless Living book. And so we actually go through my whole 12-week program of developing your own complete mind, body, wellness, Ageless Living lifestyle strategy. So then you get to develop, again, each week, here's what you do for this week. And at the end of 12 weeks, you'll have your complete mind, body, wellness system that personalized for yourself. So at the end of 24 weeks, you're going to, hopefully you'll be able to relieve yourself of a lot of those situations that people are dealing with that you don't have to. And then you have your own program you can do for a lifetime. And then it's going to be like a membership. You can stay in the program, in our community, our Be Bold, Never Be Old movement for a very low fee. And you're going to get continually more information. Yeah. So I have other practitioners that are going to offer all kind of things, you know, how to take care of your teeth and your hair and your body and all kind of things. There's a big difference between aging and being old. And I think I'm the only one that's saying this, that, you know, we hear so much about anti-aging, right? It's actually the wrong terminology, and we're sending the wrong message to our brain, because you can't stop aging. Aging is a natural process. And if you look up the definition of aging, you know what it is? Aging means to become fully mature, to reach your full potential, like fine aged wine. So aging is good. That's what we're here for. But old, look up old, man. It says worn out, used up, unexcited about your life, unable to care for yourself. Yeah. And those are both choices. You know, it's how you think and how you take care of your body. So I have anti-growing old strategies, not anti-aging. So that's how I came up with the thing.
Love that.
We have to age, but you don't have to get old in the process.
I love that. And also, people talk about life, right? Living life. But there's a difference between living life and a quality of life. And that's what you're talking about.
It's really about the quality. I mean, the quantity, we like to have a quantity too, and you will, you know. But it's really about the quality. It doesn't really matter how long you live, but you want to be vibrant and alive. And see, that's my goal. I want to stay as energetic and excited and healthy, as energetic as I can.
And clear, and clarity.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I really noticed with Jack LaLanne when I met him in 92. Yeah. His clarity, his focus. I mean, it just was amazing to me. Yeah. Phenomenal.
I hope I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll keep it going.
But that's it. See, he's your carrot, right? Yeah. You're my carrot, right? The other thing I want to mention about your membership site that we talked about earlier is you're going to get a lot of value, but just as important, you're going to be in the right atmosphere. right? You're going to be around the right
It's going to be a community. It's going to be a community.
Right?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. All the incidental things, yeah, it's important.
It's a byproduct, right?
But again, all comes back to mindset. You're going to have that mindset. Hey, we can do. There's other people doing it. I can stay healthy. I can be energetic.
You can, like at 50 years old, with a bad leg, you can get on that track field. That's what they told you, right?
Exactly.
And that's what you believed.
That's right.
So that's who you surrounded yourself with.
Exactly.
And that's the power of that membership site that I want people to understand. It's the community and who you surround yourself with. And not only that, is when you go into a membership site like that, it's like the networking 101, right? When you go to a networking event, most people go into it, what can I get? Instead of what can I give? You know? And when you change that mindset, you start attracting energy, right? The right people, the right circumstances. Because as you give, so shall you receive. We heard that in some book, right? A lot smarter than me, so, you know. But at the end of the day, that's life 101.
You got time for one more quick story?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, bring it.
This is really my best success story.
Yeah.
That I want to tell this because it's important because I think again what holds people back is lack of expectation of what's possible for them in their life. So here's my really big story. I grew up stuttering really bad, and I can remember being in grade school, and teacher would say in those days, raise your hand if you know the answer to the question. And I always knew the answer almost always, but I wouldn't raise my hand because you know how kids are. I would get laughed and teased all the time. I would get laughed and teased, and so when you stutter, you become kind of introverted because you can't really express yourself, and you're afraid to express yourself.
It's fear.
But my blessing was that's how I got into being physical. So I could run fast, and I got myself strong, so I could do good in sports and athletics. So that's how I got by, because that was my blessing.
That was your power.
I become physically extroverted, but although I was, introverted, I wouldn't speak. I couldn't talk very well. And then, as you get older, you get better, but I still stuttered. And then again, in 2000, when I wrote my main book, Ageless Living, all the media and the marketing people say, Rico, this is your baby. You're the model. You got to get your message out and go out and speak. And when you stutter, being a public speaker is like the last thing you think you're ever going to be, right?
Right.
And it's not one of the biggest, I can never figure out why are people so fearful of public speaking? I knew why I was, because I couldn't speak very good.
Right.
But it's one of the biggest fears, right? Everyone's dying. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's terrifying.
So I said, are you kidding me? Me go out and be a speaker? There's no way. I totally resisted, right? I totally resisted.
Right.
And then one day I was working with some clients, and I realized, because I was telling them, come on, you got to step your game up. You got to meet your challenges. You can do this. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm not meeting my big challenge.
You're talking, but you're not
so
walking.
I just said, okay, I'm going to learn to be a public speaker, And it was terrifying, I remember I took some class on speaking, and I'd be sweating, my heart was pounding, I'm going, but then, first time I spoke, I remember people they clap for you, right? And so I thought, well, people aren't laughing at me anymore,
Yeah.
So I kept on working at it. And then I took this speaking class with this actor, I forgot who it was now. And he told us the really cool thing that really turned it around for me so I could become a public speaker. He said, yeah, your voice is so important, and your content is important, how you move on the stage is so important, But he says, if you just really want to connect with your audience, just speak from your heart.
Yep.
Just speak from your heart. Tell your truth. I thought, okay, I can do that.
Yep.
That's what turned it around for me. And now I don't claim to be any great speaker, but I'm not too bad.
Yeah, but
now I can do it.
But you are who you are, right? And I tell people the greatest compliment I could ever get is he's real. That's the only thing that I strive for is real. And here's the other thing I tell people that are terrified of speaking, right? And I was told this years ago from one of my mentors. Your story's not about you, right? You were bad enough to make it through. Now your story is about somebody else that's trying to figure out how they can do it. So that little kid, right, that's stuttering and saying, wait a minute, I can't. Well, maybe you can because Rico did, right? Or whatever, or an adult, or whatever.
That's why I want to tell that story.
Right. And also your story of staying in physical shape, living that lifestyle, right? All that combined, whatever that is under that big Rico umbrella, right? It's not about you, right? Your story is not about you. And I always tell people, wear those scars with pride because you made it through getting on stage and speaking on platform. This scares the hell out of people. As soon as I turn this little machine on, it's an You know, it's scary. And it's interesting. The ones that are the most scared at the end, man, they're just so pumped. They're so well because they conquered it. And I call fear barriers the biggest bullies in life. And the only way to stop a bully, you can say whatever you want, make it sound as pretty as you want, is you got to step up. And I want to teach people how to get their lunch money back from that bully. And that's it.
There's love and there's fear. And anytime you're complaining or you're stressed out or you're thinking any kind of negative stuff or limiting
or
stuff
you're a victim.
or lack or a victim, you're in fear.
Yeah.
But anytime you feel alive and you feel positive and you're thinking of good thoughts, then you're in love.
Yeah.
And there's a saying, stay in love, because that's where God is. You know? That makes a lot of sense.
No, it does. It does.
One more thing I want to say, the point that you made about speaking was, I think we all have to learn that. I'm sure you had to go through it too. We have to learn that because you're nervous and you wonder how you're going to perform, how it's going to be. But that's the point you made. It's not about you. It's about them when you're speaking. So when you get that, then you can relax because you're not worried about
all the pressures.
Yeah, the pressure's off. You're not worried about how you're going to be perceived or how well you do. You're just out there giving.
That's it. It's so true. And here's the other thing that people have to understand is the world that we know is starving for real.
That's right. Absolutely.
They're so tired of the canned nonsense. Yeah. They want the real. And I believe one of the biggest reasons, and I don't care if you like them, don't like them, political or not, I don't care, it doesn't matter. One of the biggest reasons that Donald Trump won is because he came off real. Yeah. Whether he offended people, he pissed people off, some people loved him, doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, there was a connection, with enough people to get him in that White House. And I believe too many people were too worried about doing the canned thing.
Oh, that's exactly all the speaker training I've had too. Is I say, you got to, it's okay to write down some things and those initially, but then you got to throw them away. You just got to know you just got to be out there and know your stuff.
Do your thing. Yeah. Do your thing. And my whole goal, and I just did a keynote in Ontario 2 weeks ago, and then I did one up in Corona, and I say, man, here's my goal, guys. I tell them right out of the gate, my goal is to build my brand big enough to where when I come out, I do 10 minutes of my bio, and the rest is Q&A because I want that connection. I don't want it. If I don't have to do my whole thing, right? I'd rather just do Q&A because it means something.
Yeah. Well, plus, that's really what we learned too, is that it's all about your story.
Yes.
When you come out and start to tell your story, and people can connect with you, then you got them in their way in their life, and then you can give what needs to be given, and they'll get it.
So I got two questions for you before we get done. What's your definition of success?
I actually have an ebook called Real Happiness, Real Success, Real Fast.
Okay.
And my best definition of success is being happy.
Okay.
If you're happy, how more successful can you be, right?
Well, then
and happiness is not something that we pursue, or it's not something out there. It's not something we're going to get to. You have to choose to be happy right now, today. See, for me, we got to kind of backwards. We think, our family, our friends, our success is going to make us happy. No, only you can make yourself happy. All those things are for enjoyment. You can be joyful by your friends and your family and what you do in business. That brings you joy. But you got to choose to be happy. And then if you learn to be just happy, how more successful can one be if you're happy?
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So that was my second question.
Okay.
What's your definition of happiness?
Okay.
Mine is, I'm a real simple guy, right? It's how I learn. And I share things. So my definition of success is living life on your terms, whatever that is.
Right.
And my definition of happiness is fulfillment.
Yeah.
When you're fulfilled, I believe that's where the happiness comes in. So same thing, right? Yeah. I just love to ask people that. So, Rico, we end the show the same way every time, right? Okay. And I'm a big believer, as you are, that life makes the rules. We don't make the rules, right? Yeah. Life makes the rules. And life always gives us options. Yes. And life asks us questions. Yeah. And right now, life is asking you a question. Okay. Life is saying, Rico, if you could live your life purring like a kitten or roaring like a lion, what would you do?
Man, you know what the answer is, right?
Roaring like a lion.
You got to be out there, man.
Right? You got to do it.
We have a life. It's to live and be out there as strong, fully engaged as you possibly can, and be as strong as you possibly can.
Love it.
Get out there.
Love it. It's quality.
Be yourself.
Quality, man.
Yeah.
Quality. What I
Roar
love-
like a lion.
Roar like a lion, and quality and quantity is what you teach, is what you share. I love that combination. I call that the dynamic duo.
You know who Bo Eason is?
I know the name.
I'll tell
I
you.
know
later.
that name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an amazing. He's be a pro football player.
Okay, maybe
that
that's-
one man play.
Okay.
Anyway, he says, when you're on that stage, I want you to be like a lion. He says, if there was a lion on the stage and people looking up there, man, they couldn't take their eyes off of it, right? Because the lion is like out there.
Commanding.
He's looking, he's strong, he's moving with confidence, and he's out there, and you can't take your eyes off it. He says, I want you to be on the stage so people can't take their eyes off of you.
You're a lion.
You're gonna be a lion,
own
yeah.
that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this at Monster Motivator style.
Okay.
And it's called the Monster Motivator Roar.
Okay.
Right? On three. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Awesome job, brother.